see stuff that you're like, man, I ain't gonna jump in that?
Bro,
Go ahead.
criminals do crimes with criminals. I've never been a criminal. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So now, if you're looking to answer something about Puff, Puff ain't the Puff.
No, whatever someone does in their bedroom, that's what they do. I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm just here to say that I've never seen my man doing anything foul like they talk. I've never seen it. I've known him for 29 years. And then it's like with guys like 50, you know what I'm saying? Like Uncle Tom cats like that.
Puff had different phases of his life that y'all don't understand. And let's get down to the nitty gritty of it. You understand? First you got Puff Daddy, who had Daddy's house and the parties and things like that. Then you had Puff. You understand? Then you had Diddy. Then you had Brother Love, and then Love. I had Puff around the stage when he was Puff Daddy and Puff and some of Diddy. Not the new Diddy that they gave the diddler and everything like that. So he ain't the guy, he wasn't the guy that y'all see now back then.
Manning wasted no time taking a jab at Stevie J for going up against 50 Cent in the midst of all the chaos surrounding Diddy. She didn't hold back, saying that if Stevie tries anything, 50 will shut him down without a second thought. The drama started when 50 Cent began calling out Diddy on social media, making bold accusations and keeping the internet buzzing for months.
I don't know if y'all saw the post when 50 posted about me. Of course you guys.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you can't brush under the rug. I don't see anybody reporting about what Tatted Up Holly said about him beating her up and about, you know what I'm saying, his other baby mom said beating her up. I just look at it as, you know, he wants to bring the black community down worse than anyone else. How is that so? I said what I said on my post and I'm standing on that too. Now, since he didn't accept what my offer to him, and he want to continue to be a comedian, why don't you go make some movies with Michael Blackson and don't talk about it?
Okay.
If you don't want to fight, if you don't want to donate to charity, donate the bread to charity and fight, don't stop being a girl and talking about dudes. I find it funny that, you know, when they first try to crucify somebody, they go through the media first, and they're just flooded with lies and propaganda. I'm not concerned about this this dude Curtis. You know what I'm saying? He's Uncle Tom, and that's just what it is. I'm gonna speak on 1,000% of what I know to be true about my guy. My spirits are up. He's spending time with his children and his mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm working out. You know, he's doing very well. I know this guy for 29 years. See, I'm not just a guy off the internet trolling. I'm a first-hand witness. I was at his crib working in the studio. I was sitting outside the studio door, and I heard a big boom. Now, mind you, before we get into this, I'm not a spring chicken, even though I look fly and stuff. But I've witnessed some historical events of excessive force, but none like this since Saddam Hussein or El Chapo or Pablo Escobar even Osama bin Laden. I heard a big boom. So I'm thinking, like, you know, a lot of people do work on the island all day long, so I'm figuring someone dropped some materials. Heard it again. Turn my head, I'm hearing do. Armored vehicles, 3 big armored vehicles come. Dudes jump out, I got 50 dots on my shirt. Screaming, yo, get on the ground. I'm like, yo, really? I'm the only one here. Took me outside, I asked to speak to the higher ups. I was under arrest. And they said, no, you're being detained. I want to speak to the higher ups. Spoke to the higher ups. I said, am I under arrest? They said, no, you're not. Let me let you go. Boom. Let me go check your bags. You don't have any weapons and all. I'm like, I don't have any weapons. One bag.
Well, did they take electronics? Because they did in Los Angeles.
I'm sure they took some electronics, some of the camera stuff and all that. Probably they didn't want him to get a look at what they were doing in his crib, like how they came with the armored trucks. Of course, they took all that stuff.
What did you see when you walked back in?
I just don't want to get too much into that. I just know that I walked in and they messed the man crib up, you know what I'm saying? And they did his crib dirty. And, you know, I haven't seen anything like this in a long time.
Can you tell us what what his reaction was when you spoke to him the next day?
You know, he was just devastated, merely because he was going out of the country with his daughters for spring break. You know, and they had to witness things like that at the airport. I believe that would kind of shift the thinking of any man in general. If you're going on vacation with your kids and the feds show up and ruin your trip, and it's their senior year, you know what I mean? So I know he was more hurt by it.
It's ironic, isn't it? Here's Stevie J stepping in to defend Diddy, even though he's got his own jaw-dropping scandals to deal with. Fans are raising eyebrows, wondering why he'd get involved, especially when his own past isn't exactly spotless. The whole situation is turning into a spectacle, with people questioning if he's really helping or just adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah, we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see what they got. But speaking of the raid, right? Did you see that viral video of Diddy he was seen in Miami with Stevie J after the raid? You seen that video?
Yeah, I seen it.
What you think about that?
Well, I go way back when Stevie J first came to Bad Boy, after they left Uptown Records and everything like that. And Stevie J and Puff fell out real bad over, you know, it could have been producer credits and the whole 9 yards. But Stevie J didn't F with him until Love and Hip Hop. When Stevie J went to Love and Hip Hop and he became famous from that, Puff called him over there and they had a meeting. And I guess they rekindled their friendship. Because I used to bodyguard Stevie J. And, you know, go to different clubs. You know, I got pictures and everything. Stevie J didn't mess with Puff, you know, until after that Love and Hip Hop thing went down. You know, so now they back cool. What got me about the stuff like that them being back cool, that Stevie J went on TMZ and was speaking up on behalf of Diddy. Now, if anybody I want speaking up behalf of me, or I had anybody speaking up on my behalf, it wouldn't be Stevie J. You understand? I don't think that an individual of his caliber is capable or can be trusted in a way that I would like for him based on his actions on television and who he is as a person, what he has been shown as an individual, is a type of individual that I would have speaking on my behalf. Come on, we know he's a drug abuser. We know that he's been seen putting his hands on women in the wrong way. And I don't know, that shit is crumbling, man. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you can always say this, man. And the infamous words of one of the world's greatest comedians, Richard Pryor, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Why you say that? Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Because LaRob said that they be doing the liquid cocaine in the bottles, in the Ciroc bottles. We know Stevie J been in countless rehabs back and forth. We know, we've heard of Puff being in rehabs, secretly going to rehabs too. So, my man, when you get on those type of psychotropical, I think it's psychotropical drugs, man, and you start believing your own bullshit, and them two individuals together, man, you know they gotta be crazy. Something gotta be wrong with when he sit up there and he said that he wanna challenge 50, and I don't know much about that clout shit. Him challenging 50 to a fight, and we seen how 50 Cent, we seen how Stevie J fight on Love and Hip Hop and all that other bullshit. Him Scrappy, him this other cat. My man, there's no way. There's no way. He don't want it with 50, bro.
if that ain't cocaine, the Pope ain't Catholic.
So you feel like 50 Cent would give Stevie J that work?
It wouldn't even be a job. 50 Cent will whoop niggas like Stevie J on the way to a real fight.
You seen 50 fight before?
I ain't never seen 50 fight. I seen some tapes of him get down on that end, but I never seen him fight in person. But I know the demeanor of a man. I was with 50 Cent on a couple of occasions, and one occasion, it was just me and 50 and about probably 6 other dudes that didn't want to get out the car because he was ready to get down. And you could see it in him. You could see he got it in him like that. I'm looking at him. I wrote this shit about this shit in my book. 50 ain't back, he don't back down, bro. And you could see when you know a dude is about it, and got it in him, you can see it in his eye. You can see it in the way he carry himself. You see how he threw his old man in the bushes, Tony Yayo. They got tapes on 50 getting down boxing. I've seen tapes on him. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen him in person, you know, as far as fighting. I've been with him in person, but he got it in him, bro.
But yeah, that caught me by surprise because I always knew that Stevie J, he did production for Bad Boy, but I never knew him and Diddy was that close until, you know, as of late, you know, since the raid. So.
No, they was close. Bro, Stevie J and Puff was like pots and pans back in the day. I don't know what happened between them, but something happened on the producing credit side that Stevie J stopped effing with him. And, Stevie wasn't dealing with him at all. He was just doing more stuff for Jodeci than he was Bad Boy.
It's strange that Stevie G would jump to Diddy's defense, especially with his own shocking scandals still looming. Fans are questioning why he'd step in now, given everything he has to deal with himself. It's left everyone wondering if he's helping or just stirring up more drama.
Man, you made a comment and you said that Foxy Brown was one of the females you was talking to back then. If you don't mind, man, take me through that. How did that come about? How did you and Foxy Brown meet? How did you knock Foxy Brown?
Kind of funny though, because we're talking about 30 years now. If not 25. You know what I'm talking about? Foxy used to fuck with my boy. Corrupt. Shit was over. You know what I'm talking about? Then we had Doggy Angels, which was the homegirls. We used to be in Beverly Hills. I forgot this club, but I'm sure everybody else would know. But we used to be in that motherfucker thick. You feel me? And, Foxy used to be around, at the same time. I guess, Corrupt. That was his bitch, whatever. But at the time that this whole situation happened, he wasn't even fucking with her. So, like I said, the van got broke down in Beverly Hills. We pulled up. No, they pulled up. I pulled up in the Benz at the Key Club after Mike Epps did a little stand up and did what he did, because we wasn't selling drinks at the time. We was just selling bottles. You feel me? And at this time, it was on the track, had hella hoes. You feel me? It was like 1,000 hoes on Sunset Boulevard. You know what I'm talking about? So it was a good look. At this time, niggas come pick me up, we jump in the car, bam, bam. Some motherfuckers pull up on the side of it, and a white Benz. A little Benz, like we in a 500, so they ain't a 400. Some little. But they had the same rims. Looked at C and said, "Come out your rims." We like 60 in the car. We stacked. Bitches got their legs over. We stacked. And I'm like, niggas late. Right? We got security in the car too. And we're like, when we jump out the car, drove off. He ran to the trunk and get the thing, right? I'm like, look, go fuck. Well, I had the motherfucking same, had the same shit, right? They ain't them dropping me off. Now, to think about it right now today, I don't even know how I got her number. You feel me? I don't even remember how I got her number. But I know where it was at. We was right across the street from House of Blues. What's the name of that spot? I know one of my, right across from House of Blues. Huh? On Sunset. Then the hotel. Well, check this out. Some reason I'm on the phone. She's like, yeah, I need 111. And I'm going there. I get there. I jump out the car. I'm walking through the hotel. When I push through the hotel, I'm driving down. I don't even think about shit. I just look to the left. When they drive down, I just see a car just block them off.
Stevie J didn't take 50's post lightly and even challenged him to a televised fight, saying he's ready to go head-to-head. But true to form, 50 shrugged it off, kept trolling, and even posted a clip of Stevie J's fight from Love and Hip Hop for laughs. To top it off, 50 pointed out that Stevie still hasn't denied any of the wild claims he threw his way.
The news breaking that 50 Cent has sold his documentary series, Surviving Diddy, to Netflix.
Man, I hope I never have to go to war with 50 Cent. That dude is a troll. That dude is he's the best. He's the art of war. He know how to go at it. But the way I understand it is he sold the rights, right, to Netflix. He had a bidding war and he sold the rights to all the different streaming companies that wanted to do it. It's going to be interesting to see what he gets. He can only do reenactments from the lawsuit. He can't get Cassie to talk about it. Trust me, Cassie can't talk about this publicly. He might can get law enforcement, might can get her to talk on a jury stand or witness stand, grand jury or something like that. But just to go and do interviews, she can't do it. She probably can't even mention the name Sean Combs or any of his family members. Talk about anything. So, is it going to be Misa? I doubt it. It's hard for females that have kids by men to do these, to talk bad about their father, no matter how much of a douchebag he is. And so, who's gonna be the survivors? Is it gonna be Lil Rod? He gonna get his bag eventually. Trust me. And he gonna have to sign, an agreement not to talk about it publicly. So I think it's just 50 jumping the gun, wanting to be a hell of a troll, and him being like me, very, very vindictive. I wonder if 50 a Leo like me. I gotta find out his sign because I swear me and him have the same traits. But I don't know who will be the victims. We know a young Miami, she finally done broke away. Saw that she unfollowed him recently. Misa, we know Kim Porter in her book. If you can get a hold of that. I just think a lot of it's gonna have to be reenactment. Or maybe our boy Because I know he likes Gene Deal, and Gene Deal like him a lot. Maybe my boy Arthur Dialogue about to get rich, and he licensed a lot of his footage from Art's channel. Or Mark Curry, whatever, he said. I'm just wondering where they're going to get the footage from. Who are they going to get to speak on that? Did 50 find the male escorts? Or is it got to be just reenactments from the different lawsuits? There's a new young lady that came out and filed a new lawsuit recently. Maybe it'd be worth her while just to tell her story and not, go through with the lawsuit, or at least sign an agreement. This demand, I can't sign an agreement saying I'm not going to talk about it. The issue is we want to see the people, like we did on the Surviving R. Kelly. Y'all saw parents. Y'all got Art to talk a little bit. Y'all got, R. Kelly to talk a little bit. Y'all got footage of things that had happened. It's going to be interesting to see what 50 can pull out to really make a good showing. Because that shit that we saw on Tubi, a lot of people who saw it thought it was good. But I didn't personally care for it. But even though
Gene, Diddy's former bodyguard, jumped right into the mix, saying Stevie G wouldn't stand a chance against 50, adding even more fuel to the ongoing drama between these hip-hop heavyweights. Meanwhile, 50 remains completely unbothered, keeping the pressure on anyone associated with Diddy as Stevie G scrambles to defend his friend's honor.
Fucking TMZ, I will be getting contact real soon because we just noticed, John and I just discovered that y'all did use some of our footage with Whack 100 on that show, and y'all ain't contact us. Y'all know y'all can't be licensing stuff without, or putting stuff in y'all TV shows without it getting licensed. So that's where I think 50 gonna go. He's gonna go to reenactment things from reading things. And are y'all gonna be happy with that? Are y'all gonna wanna see reenactments, or are you gonna really wanna see live footage, live interviews? That's gonna be a challenge. But 50 got the resource. He has the writers that can put it together, and I'm sure he gonna make it good. If it's anything that he has done, if it's like anything that he has done, because I remember when I was away for a little while, it was a show on ABC with that dude that got sentenced with life. And we used to sit around the table watching that, waiting for that to come on every night, or Monday night or Tuesday night, whenever it came on. And so everything, it didn't come on or get a second season, but everything he has touched, I love the Power, I love the Kanan, I love BMF. It's not too much that he hasn't done as far as TV series that I haven't enjoyed. And so he would be the perfect person for it. It'll just be interesting to see if he'll be able to.
Our beautiful city.
Man, you looking real. That couch look real small on you, brother. I'm
6'7", 327 pounds.
Massive.
Yeah.
Man, you have a legendary story, man. You've been through a lot. You've seen a lot. And we want to get all the way into it, man. First off, though, you're from that STL.
St. Louis, Missouri, born and raised.
Man, depending on what part you talking about, you in the trenches.
North Side, North St. Louis, and then I moved to a subdivision called Wellston. That's the place Nelly said when he got a problem, he go get his Wellston niggas. That's where I'm from, Wellston.
So, give us a little childhood memory about growing up in Wellston, for anybody who ain't never been to that side.
Well, you know, I got 2 books out, bro. One book is called Gene Deal, My World of Bodyguard and a Hip Hop Star. And the second one is Gene Deal, Life After Death, When Bodyguard and a Hip Hop Star. The first book tells about my childhood, growing up in Wellston. I met my mother at the age of 12 years old, where I moved out from St. Louis, from the north side, to the Wellston, Missouri, where my mother was at. Wellston is it's the ghetto among ghettos. There's only 6,000 people. People ain't stop at the stop sign when you went to Wellston. So if you know what they're talking about, when if you came out of Wellston, you had to educate yourself, because the school district, if you came out of high school, you probably had a 6th or 7th grade education.
So let me ask you, for those that, you know, some people know your story and they see you on this couch, so they know what we're about to get into. As a curiosity, for those who don't know, your profession was a bodyguard.
Not at all.
Okay, go ahead, please.
My profession was, I was professional in the New York State Parole Office, where I worked for 27 years. You understand? My second profession was an investigator for Elite Investigation, where I ran the investigations of housing projects in the city, Lambert Houses, Taino Towers, Eastchester Manor, some of the roughest housing projects in the city in the Bronx. My third profession, which wasn't like what you might say a bodyguard, I started what you call, with some other guys, ASAP Ferg Father, Mike Cox, myself, we started what we call the Same Gang. The Same Gang was a group of guys who, at the time, Harlem was coming up. Instead of them having cliques and they call cliques and crews, instead of them having gangs and stuff like that, we were people that partied together, you know what I'm saying, had a lot of fun, gave picnics, and that's where you got the guy Sean Combs came in, when we brought him into the Same Gang. So I was like what y'all call now an OG, because I started it, you understand? So then Puff had some problems at the place called The Building and the Red Zone. Red Zone and The Building was parties that he was doing. The Building was the unsigned hype. If you ever seen Juice and the guy was doing the turntables and stuff like that, I think it was Omar Epps or something like that. Right, that was The Building. That's where they was giving the parties there, where you had leaders of the new school, Queen Latifah, different groups coming there showing their talent, Naughty by Nature and all like that. They would show their talent there. So Puff was having problems there, and D Ferg, one of the leaders of the Same Gang, which is ASAP Ferg Father.
Diddy, also known as Sean Combs, is facing a mounting wave of controversies shaking the hip-hop world. His legal troubles took a serious turn with reports of Homeland Security allegedly raiding his properties as part of an ongoing investigation. These actions have cast a shadow over Diddy's reputation, putting his music industry legacy under intense scrutiny.
Man, you know, he need to get that money home at night and everything like that, you know, to Kirk Burroughs and stuff like that. So why don't you go help him out? I said, I ain't got no problem with that. So I put him up under my wing, so I started helping him out, you know, by, you know, making sure when the end of the party and stuff like that, get in the car, bring him uptown. So to answer your question, sorry about that, my profession first was, like I said, parole officer, then investigator, you know, which it was with the housing projects and stuff like that. Then that bodyguard thing was just me looking after, you know, people that was in our crew and clique.
So is it safe to say that you were familiar with like the music industry of some sorts before Puff came?
Well, I think that I got involved with the music industry because a guy named Tim Dog. If you know, Tim Dog is not the one who had the that F. Compton thing. Tim Dog was one of the A&Rs for Uptown Records. He went on to be a president of Island Records, the president, I think he was the president of A&R over Arista Records. They was having problems at parties, you know, because dudes in New York didn't think they could wait online. So I became that dude that got a clique together, got a crew together, and we started doing security at the front doors at all the Uptown Record parties, all the parties that Tim Dog, Butt Naked, and different people was giving. You understand? And whereas that people didn't try to bum rush the door no more. People didn't try to, run up in the parties, and you understand? So I came famous with that.
You more like a problem solver or a problem deflector, I guess. If problems come to the door.
Well, it wasn't just me, it was my team.
The whole team is...
The team was like, I hired 4 officers, and I hired about 8 dudes that was from the streets, you understand? And one cop, and had dogs.
When you're putting together a team, what are you looking for inside of a man to know if he's built for this?
Well, if you hang with us, you built for it, point blank. We didn't look for guys outside our crew.
So when you were at these parties and making sure things were going in certain situations, were there any younger cats that we might recognize today that would ever try to act like they were better than, or try to force their way or push their way past y'all?
That came in the later days, man. That came when dudes would have 20 or 30 guys with them because they were scared. You understand? But you got to realize when you have certain people that was out there with me, you had Slick, Tima. These guys are known in the street. They the godfathers, some of the biggest gangsters that you heard of. Alpo, Lou Sims. You understand? They respected them. So now, when I got them working, and they part of the team, and they running the security like that, ain't nobody gonna try nothing, bro.
So, man, let's get right to it then. To be what you were doing in your team, y'all had to have seen some evil shit, some pretty fucked up shit coming from niggas with money.
Bro, you see that from niggas who don't have money also.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you see a lot of shit. It is what it is.
So I have to ask you that, because sometimes when you see let's say a puff, you might have a manager who might be an enabler, to help them get to it, R. Kelly, whoever. You have their bodyguards or security unit who might allow some things to take place. Might see it and just, hey, we're gonna just allow because, hey, it's the essence. What was your mentality when it comes to the enablers or the people that allow, or just what, how did you approach the situation that you're I don't know about that?
I don't know what you mean by that question. That was such a broad and asinine ass question that it's hard to answer something like that.
Let me be more direct.
Be direct, bro.
Let me be more direct.
Yeah.
Were you